do my logbook. I might be able to get it right now. Aha! Come on, Mark, let's go, Mark. Come on, Mark. This is Princeton, Illinois. We just got fuel. We're going to go to Plano, Illinois, Bernards. Drop my trailer. Got a bit of vibration going on there though. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Look at it wobble. Cool down at the moment because it's a little muggy outside. That's right, it's a little me. It's a little me. There's a Pontiac G8 coming up beside me. This is actually a Holden. Originates from Australia. They call it a Pontiac over here, but that is actually what it is. It's Holden's car. They brought it to America and it's a pretty fine piece of machinery, but it didn't do very well. They stopped production of it. It is a GT, not a GTO. It's a nice car though. Dodge Charger, made in Germany. Alrighty then, okie dokie, that's marvellous. We must be together, you and that pickup, you've got to be. can't. And they're all running together. When they're scared that if they don't stay together, they'll lose each other. They're too fast. I have to sit behind them. Freight liner behind me is going to come around because I don't have the power to get past them. Well, no, not the power. I'm limited, sorry. So I know I can't pass him. He can. I can't. Oh, he definitely can. He's a good old Indian. Woohoo! British Columbia. That's all right. Appreciate that. I gotta get out past this car. Sorry, mate, but I'm not quite sure what he's doing. She's a lovely lady. She's driving along, enjoying the cruise. It's right. So yeah, I'm a little confused. The human race sort of. You know, Trumpy and his missus, I mean, they get consistent flag every day, and I do sort of, not really, but everybody else seems to. I don't really understand, you know, the purpose of it. And what I mean by that, I suppose I'm really only talking to you two, which is fine, because that's pretty much how I want it, I suppose. But what confuses me is they go on about cyberbullying. They say he's an ass for it, and his wife is no better, and she's going on about, you know, we've got to do more for our children, and we've got to teach them, and, you know, and they're saying, look at your husband first, and all that. And I sort of get that. I do sort of get it. But the bit that sort of hang on, he ain't got the bollocks to get past me, so we'll let him go. There he goes. Now he's happy. So yeah, the bit that confuses me is like, if Donald Trump is such a waste of space, and you don't agree, and he's a bully and all this, and just everything that goes on that they say about him. I'm sorry, but I don't live in the same world then. I'm a little confused about everything that's going on at the moment. Yeah, you better slow down, mate. Oh, please, nick in. No, you're not going to nick in. He's gunning. Oh, man. You're going to let him go? Oh, I really wanted to see that happen as well. No, he ain't going for him. He was flying as well. Yeah, I'm changing conversations because I'm concentrating. That's what you call it. So yeah, it's like the world I live in, what I see on a regular basis, what I read, and just generalisation, and it is a generalisation of the public in the world and the human race, is that you're all bullies. Every single one of you. And you're all sexist, and you're all racist, and I know it don't really matter. You have a conversation pretty much with myself at the moment, really, but I keep pondering over all this, and I'm like, well, hang on a minute. So he says Nambia instead of Namibia, which is hard to say, by the way, Namibia. That's extremely hard to say. That is a very hard word to say for a country out there in the vast desert lands of Africa. Now, it's not whether it's north, east, south or west. At the end of the day, Namibia is a hard word to say. And I've met people from Namibia. I actually have. He said, I think he said Nambia. And he said it wrong. And then I think back to George Bush Jr., who was always messing his words up. And he got a little bit of criticism, but not a lot. Now this one comes along, and all of a sudden he doesn't know what he's talking about, and you know, and we're going to have to criticise him, and he's got the country wrong, and all that, and this and that. And I'm thinking to myself, you say that he's a bully, and he's every other whatever you want to be out there at the moment, because we just keep coming up with so much different stuff. And his wife is no good, and she's a laugh and a joke. She stands up and says we need to teach our children better, but at the end of the day you've got to teach your husband first. But then when I go reading the comments, and you know, and I really detest Twitter. I think Twitter was the worst invention ever. That's just my opinion, as always. Be chucked to the wind. But it was the worst invention ever. So then we get on there and we mock, and we feel it's appropriate to have a dig, and he didn't get the word right. Well, I remember Philip Dre so well. I really do. You see, and I know Philip Dre and Donald Trump probably aren't the same in certain respects, but the idea that I'm trying to get to is, I remember what Philip was like at school, and I remember that he had problems and he had difficulties, and people thought it was fun to mock him all the time. Yet the lad, oh that was close, yet the lad had a heart of gold, and he was awesome, and I absolutely adored him. And at times I miss him, and I do think about things like that, you know, certain people. I also remember Alistair Delima. That boy was awesome. You didn't want to upset him because he'd rip your head off. He was a nasty piece of work, but he didn't get upset very often, but if he did, you had to watch it. But he was another one, same as me. We had learning difficulties, you know. Wasn't really taken serious, thrown to the wind, told to just get on with it, you know. You got a chance in life, mate, but it ain't going to really happen here, sort of thing. And I look at them situations now, and I look back on that, and I think, you people are no better than those that used to criticise us and mock us at school. And it was hurtful, and it was horrible. And I understand, I get it, I understand Donald. But you see, Donald was given, the bit that nobody seems to remember, and I don't even know if you quite understand this. Donald, throughout the whole of his career, has always been put on that pedestal, like for being the man that was in charge, you know, like, hey, you know, like, I don't really, it's hard for me to try and put it into words. In my head I can see it, but actually putting it out there is a little difficult. But it's like, he was put up on that pedestal and he was, you know, you're fired and all that in his TV program, you know what I mean? I think it was the assistant, wasn't it? But he starred in movies as well, you know, he's been around the block so many times, okay? And if you really remember all that about him, and you look back and people say he's never done anything for anybody and he's never done this, but then I think to myself, okay, how many of you in the public have ever done anything for anybody? How many times, if you're walking down the street or you're somewhere and someone's homeless or whatever, you turn away from them, you do your window up and you've got no acknowledgement of them? And that's sort of where I'm trying to get with this conversation, is that, you know, human race itself is quick to throw him under the bus consistently, every day, every minute, every second, and it's just ridiculous. Now, even his wife they got to throw under the bus, but at the end of the day they're no better. And if you truly believe, and this is the bit I don't get, if you truly believe that you can do better than him and you can run this country and the rest of the world, why aren't you trying to become president then? If you're so much better than everybody else, if you think you know what needs to be done, if you can cure all the problems in this world, then why aren't you running for presidency? Why aren't you out there trying to get elected? I mean, why? Because you have got no idea, no more than what he supposedly has in your eyes. You think you do, but you don't. You know, come live in our world. And you really should be living in our world. You're supposed to be, you know, respectable, but yet the blue-collar workers got more respect than you have at the moment, and a majority of the people that are arguing and fussing and causing all these problems aren't normal blue-collar working people. They're supposedly educated people. Well, I don't see any education anywhere in them. I don't see it in them. I just see a bunch of extremely disrespectful, hateful, hurtful. I have to stick my penny's worth in there, throw it out there, make my point, get put out on, you know, so everybody can read about how I said my opinion and it's awesome, you know. It just does my head in. You know, it needs to just end, and it won't, because we are so wrapped up in consistently wanting to batter Donald Trump, his missus, I can't say her name probably, I ain't going to say her name because I know I'll say it wrong. You know, just beside the road, mate. It's just too much, and they need to just give it a rest. And if they actually did give it a rest, and if they actually stopped antagonising him and giving him the ability to fire back at stuff and just ignore him, I guarantee you he'd slow right down. I know he'd slow right down, because no one will be paying attention to him. He loves attention. It's obvious. If you can't see that, then you're as much a muppet as what he supposedly is. And you are a muppet as much as what he supposedly is, if you can't see that. For the majority of people I speak out here in the real world that work for a living, don't think that they're better than everybody else, and don't really have a problem with what he's trying to do. They just go about their daily business trying to make a living and trying to survive, hoping it will get better. So for the majority of people I see out there at the moment that want to throw things at anybody really at the moment, are those that are supposedly better educated than I ever was, and I don't even have an education. They need to put a stop to it, but they won't, but they need to. They really do. It's just got out of control. I do like the fact he called him Rocket Man though, because he is Rocket Man. He's totally right. Why shouldn't he call him Rocket Man? keeps firing rockets off all over the place, might as well call him Rocket Man. I don't see a problem with it. The country itself doesn't do anything for anybody anyway. North Korea doesn't. I mean, it doesn't do anything for the rest. It doesn't. They'll argue and tell you it does, and it bloody well doesn't. It doesn't do nothing for the rest of this world, that country. If you have the aspect and the ability to tame the shrew, you could probably get some productivity out of that country, and probably the people themselves would feel relieved. But how can they feel relieved when they don't even know what's going on in the real world? They just know what he wants them to see. That's propaganda, right? That's being a dictator. So we took out Saddam Hussein because he was a dictator. We took out Colonel Gaddafi because he was a dictator. Interesting. We take out as many dictators in this world as we can, from what I remember, which is interesting, because that's what Barack Obama did, right? He took out Colonel Gaddafi, he was a dictator. That's what George Bush did. He took out Saddam Hussein because he was a dictator. He was a threat to the world. Now all of a sudden, Donald Trump wants to confront and get in touch and sort out Rocket Man, because that's what he is. Now he's an ass for that. That don't make no sense to me. We was all, whoop, let's do it, let's go. Take out Saddam Hussein, let's take out Colonel Gaddafi, you know, Obama, Osama bin Laden, you know, take out all these dictators and these threats, take them all out, they need to go, we don't, you know, they're gonna, I don't get it. Now he says we need to sort out Rocket Man before Rocket Man ends up causing harm to people around him. All of a sudden Donald Trump's an ass for that. Oh no, he's an ass. See, I don't get it, see? Makes no sense to me. Maybe I'm just looking at it wrong. But that's the bit that doesn't compute in my head. You all are on his ass, and you're all on his back, and you're all consistently contradicting him for everything he does, and none of you like him, and you all think he's a waste of space. But yet when George Bush, Barack Obama, and George Bush Sr. and Ronald Reagan, and a few more of them who I probably can't mention because I can't remember their names, have all in their time done something to make a difference when they first came in. And he wants to make a difference and he's not allowed. And I say go ahead and do it. Figure out a way to slap that little boy around the head, tell him he's not really Rocket Man, let the people, you know, suddenly realise what there is outside of just North Korea, give them the chance to open their eyes up and go, oh my gosh, this is just amazing. But he's not allowed to do that because the words he used wasn't right. I'd have used the same words. I'd have said I'll give you total annihilation because you're just really annoying. It's funny. It's my rant over, I suppose. I got more, but I won't. I just keep going over and over in my head and I just can't get around it. Like, you say we should show our children and teach them a better way, but yet every single one of you that wants to put out an argument against what he says and make him look a fool and mock him and disrespect him and other people as well, you do that and you think that's okay, so your kids will see that as well. So they'll see that, they'll see Donald's, they'll see anything else they want to see that is a mockery. But you think he's the only one that deserves a slap for it, not you. See, I can't get my head around that. And I'd so love to try and make everybody understand that. get out there and show them exactly where. They're going wrong. You know? I watch the kid play Roblox. I watch them role play and I watch them discuss and I watch how they talk to each other.